Notes on a Conditional Form was the reason I didn't pre-order Being Funny in a Foreign Language on vinyl. And
Wow.
we are about to find out if I regret that decision or not, as we are about to
Oh.
review it.
So we are.
Well,
So we are.
well, that's it, isn't it?
So
That's
first-
it. We're right here. The
That's
1975.
the review. See you later.
That's it. We're done. Thanks for listening to the pod, everyone.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, we're
Thanks
reviewing
for the
as
100
Hal said,
views
the
on YouTube.
1975. All right, brilliant. I'll just.
So the first track is the 1975,
Jesus
somewhere we've
Christ.
not been before. Slow Down, Sweet Sound. Was
Soft
that
Sound.
That's right? Soft Sound. Isn't here on this. Got rid of it again, and they could have included it here. But this track, tell me about it, Jan.
Can I speak now without being interrupted?
I just
Fucking
said,
hell.
tell me about it.
Fucking hell.
Hot kettle.
Well, you'd know. I don't know. I thought this isn't a bad opener, to be honest with you. I was expecting slow turtle soft shell, but didn't get that, and I didn't mind it. I think it's a good way to introduce the album, to be honest.
I completely agree. I really liked it. Music was very nice. I liked the vocal melody. It was good. However, this does start a common theme on the album, which is a hell of a lot of dick talk. Just a hell of a lot.
I didn't notice that.
Well,
Lots of. I
phallic
noticed
language,
today that the first line in Part of the Band talks about busting in someone's hand. It's the literally the first line. There's a lot of dicks on this album, not just Matty Healy.
There are.
Bum, bum.
I mean, I can speak
My
for
cats are trying to open the
all
door.
of-
Sorry,
get a grip.
you're
Cats.
jumping up to the fucking handle.
Insane. I think I speak for everyone here at Falls and Hill podcast when I say we love dicks. So, this is a great start.
Up the
to
god
this album.
schlong.
Bring on the dicks.
Bring on the dicks.
That's
Yeah,
coming
this
in
is a great
season.
opener, I think. I was very happy when this started and sounded a bit like Part of the Band, the same sort of musicality elements.
Musicality.
And I think it's a great opener. Yeah, I think it's got a nice build to it.
Oh, brilliant.
Thanks.
You know what? You saying that really brings me happiness, Liam. Oh, what would you know? The next track is called Happiness. This song, and there's a couple of times this happens on this album, and I've not really listened to much of their other albums, so I could be talking about my house here. But this reminded me, I know you have, reminded me a lot of the first album in certain ways, which I do have fond memories of. That is my favourite album of theirs, but I've honestly not delved too deep into any of their others. The only problem I have with this is it doesn't need to be 5 minutes long.
Yeah, I agree. I do think this is one of the best versions of this song they've done, because I also agree it is very, very reminiscent of album 1 and album 2, especially in terms of the melody. I like the chorus a lot. Brass is a nice addition, and I still like the pre-chorus, the bit where he just says my thing. I said I liked that when it was released as a single. Still like it now.
Yeah, this this is very reminiscent of the first couple of albums. The second album introduced a bit of synth. If anyone that's listened to all their albums would know, that kind of 80s style synth. This is a bit more like the first album, I would say. But the addition of things like the brass makes a big difference. And it's a solid melody that I understand why they've done it so many times, and this reinvents it nicely.
Lovely. Next one is called Looking for Somebody. I may have the wrong 80s song, but I put like Footloose vibes in the intro. This one was one that made me start to worry a bit, because it was on the line of being too much of the stuff that I don't like from them. But I put in a vacuum, I enjoyed this song.
Okay. I really like this song. I am a semi-big fan of the 1975, but I too was worried that this was kind of going to be the blueprint for the album. I loved how fast-paced it was, and I think his voice so far has sounded some of the best it's ever sounded.
Would you agree, Liam? You've heard it all.
I've heard it all. Well, there's a slight vocal effect on this song, isn't there? Am I right in saying that?
Probably.
Most
or he
likely.
sings it slightly different to the usual style, and I really like it. So don't know if I'd go as far to say it's the best he's ever sounded. I have listened to everything. So
Didn't say that.
I wouldn't say
Didn't
that.
say it's the
You pretty
best
much did
he's
say
ever
that.
sounded.
I think you pretty
I
much
feel like you
said
did.
that.
Those are the exact
Um,
words that came out of your mouth, Carl, to be honest.
Yeah, action replay and all that.
If you're going to paraphrase me correctly.
Nope. But I like the. I've lost my train of thought. I've lost my train of thought.
You can't do that album if you've never listened to it.
I like the. Sorry, I've realised what I want to say. It's got a nice, not wall of sound, but bowl. It's got a nice bowl of sound. I feel like I'm sat in a little bowl of sound. I like that. A lot of stuff going on. A nice brass again. His vocals are nice. I like the pace.
He loves pace.
I'm just looking for somebody to love.
Beautiful. Part of the band, I mean, can't really add much more to it. We were a fan of it when it was released. It's still great. Probably one of the best. He phrased there. And it still surprises me that this has come from this band.
I agree. By your phrase there, Yanni, one of the best. Is that of their whole discography or from this album? Just so I can prepare myself.
He wouldn't know. He wouldn't know. I would know.
Wow.
From this album.
Personally.
I think this is one of the best songs they've ever released. I just think it sounds really mature. I do wish they went
strong cheese.
Right, exactly. Thanks, Miles. I do wish they went down this route a little bit more on the album, and I just think Matty's lyricism is tip top. That final chorus / outro bit is phenomenal.
As someone who's listened to it by 1975, I would co-sign on that comment. Callum, this is probably the best thing, one of the best things I've ever done, if not the best thing. And it's just, it gets me every time I listen to it. It feels like I hear something different each time. Feels like I kind of follow it in a different way, almost like I arrive at the end from a different journey. And I just think it's a stunning song. I'm doing the click your own adventure version of this song because that wasn't clear. But no, it's great. And the slower part reminds me a lot of like something Brockhampton would do, which I think's funny. I don't know why it's funny, but I find it funny because I'm a man of humour. So
okay, moving on. Oh, Caroline, I've put this is a very good pop song. I wasn't really a fan of the vocal effect on his voice on this one. I feel like there's a couple of times, maybe in the past, where this vocal effect has been used, but in this one it stood out to me. And yeah, I can appreciate it being a good pop song, but didn't do too much for me.
Couldn't agree with you more, Johannes.
Thank you, Colin.
Definitely my least favourite so far, but that's not to say I didn't enjoy it. Just, yeah, didn't do much for me beyond that.
It's not doing bits.
It's not in the Do Bit Society.
Needs to get a membership ASAP. I agree. This is probably the weakest so far for me. Quite reminiscent of the second album. I like to watch you sleep, but somehow I've not been arrested yet. But it's quite of that cut from the same cloth, and it's the cloth that's been trodden on a lot. Food has been spilt on it. Cum stains, what have you.
Lovely. Brilliant. I'm in love with you. Don't fight over
God.
it.
Thank you
Don't
so much.
fight.
Yanni.
You both
You said
know
you said it to me. I saw
It's
you looking at
fine.
me.
it's equal.
We can be
No.
polyamorous. It's fine.
I'll be Polly and you're amorous. That line I mentioned before about them towing it on whether it's too much. This one crossed it for me. This was too much of like the 1975 that I don't like.
Yeah, maybe. It's annoyingly catchy though.
I can't remember it, so
Yeah, it's one of them earworm songs that is just gonna, maybe not for you if you can't remember it, but for me it's been floating around my head most of the day. Sounds nice. I just kind of want something different at this point.
Listen, boys, I'm here and I'm presenting mirrors, left, right, and centre. All right, just a little bit too
Whoa.
cheesy for me. This one, a
Yeah.
little bit too cheesy.
Yeah.
I quite like it. I like that the sound is still quite coherent with some of the other tracks. Like that kind of, it's almost folky, isn't it? Like it's not synthy and it's not just like electric guitars with the same tone on every song like the first album.
I don't want to interrupt you and make you sound like an idiot, but I believe it's pronounced folk. Folky.
Sorry, folky. Yeah, like Newton Faulkner. Yeah, that's where it came from. We all know that.
He invented folk music.
Folk.
Folk off. Thanks for being done with all comments, Liam. All I need to hear. I mentioned, and we covered this as a single, that depending on how the rest of the album went, I was either going to give this one a pass or I wasn't. And it gets a pass from me.
It gets a pass.
Oh, glowing.
Yeah. It works on the album and it comes at the right point. Just like me. Always coming on time.
Fucking tell me about
it. Liam, pass us those mirrors, please, boy.
Passed.
Thank you.
How,
I think I did that the wrong way around.
Well, I need them back, so can you just pass them back, or
fuck off.
just awkward?
No, you've done that to me. No. Babe,
This
go long. Yeah, there we go.
There's no. This is all I need to hear. It's beautiful.
Thank you. The next song is called Wintering. I put, this doesn't work for me. Don't know what it is. Just doesn't do it for me.
Shattering those mirrors so promptly.
Smashed.
I'm not sure how I feel about the kind of like meta opening where Matty is in the recording booth saying he should come straight in and then
I like that part.
Does that.
Mate.
I like that part.
Juan
Just the rest of
Mata.
it I don't like.
But I really, really like these faster ones. There's one in a bit. Maybe. Maybe it's already been.
Hang on.
Hold your fucking
I think it might have already been. I wasn't going on to it.
Calm down, lad.
It was. I'm going to edit that. I don't know. But I thought the lyrics were very, very funny in this one. Another good spotlight on Matty's lyricism. Spotlight in a spotlight.
Oh,
meta.
beautiful.
Wow. I like the intro. I think it kind of works really well. The way it does exactly what it says is smart and it works very well.
Like Wix Paint.
And I like this track. I think it's. I didn't hear what you said then. Was it funny or should I just listen to it?
Yeah, that's why we're laughing, mate.
Oh. I'll listen back. It's a nice, short, snappy, and snappy.
Like a
I want to
cracker.
emphasise the snappy part of it.
Human 2, again, this one, unfortunately, was pretty meh for me. I've not really got anything else to add other than that, I'm afraid.
No, this is my least favourite track on the whole entire album. I was not remotely asked about what? I was not remotely asked about it. It went on far too long.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. I will say that I agreed with you on my first listen. However, earlier on I had this playing in the background in one room while I was in another room. And I heard this song come on. And I really like the sound of it. Really like it. It really gets me in my feels. Vocals somewhat reminiscent of like a Bunny Vale. And keys, something like Loyal Klarna would have had on a track. Not on the first album or second album, whatever it was. I think it's a very nice. Song. I definitely don't think it's the worst song on the album.
Well, from one of the worst to possibly my best, is About You. This is definitely one of my favourites. Nostalgic first album vibes from this, like Robbers kind of feel to it, because that hall of reverb kind of effect going on. The female vocals that are included, which is the guitarist's wife. Upon research, I thought I'll do a bit of research. That's what I found out. She doesn't do anything else. That's what she's just been on this song. because I thought it would be someone famous, but it wasn't.
Nah.
My only gripe, not grape, I'm not talking about making wine here. Gripe is that this probably should have ended the album.
Yeah, I agree. But we'll come on to the closer in a second. Maybe not. But yeah, no, I agree. It should have.
We will.
It was just very
I can
emotional.
confirm now we will.
Absolutely brilliant. Love this track.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like this as well. I think the female vocals are great. I love the difference in the sound musically for this one. Don't love the effect on his vocals, if I'm being honest.
Common theme.
Whatever that is. Is that a common theme?
You said it at least once.
I said it for one other song, and it was a completely different vocal effect.
That's
So
still common.
Let's not
theme
start
is
throwing
common.
words around, Can, that we don't know what they mean, and we can't stand by them. All right.
What was this word? Theme that you're throwing around.
But anyway, I like this, and I agree that it should have been the last song on the album.
Agreements.
Could have been.
Agreements. When we are together, just like we are now, boys. I'm not a fan of the American enunciation of some of the words. That really just stood out to me in this song.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you because I can't remember. But I just remember listening to it and thinking, why is he saying the words this way? It's really annoying.
See, I remember I nearly wrote that down when I wasn't really listening to it properly. So then I started to focus in on it. And then he couldn't have really sounded any more mank if he tried, so I bailed on that point. But I'm glad you thought that as well, because there was definitely parts where I thought he sounded American.
Brains. But then just to be positive, the strings that come in towards the end are delightful.
Delightful indeed. I thought this was a lovely ender. Completely understand about you being probably maybe a better choice, but it did the job well. Loved the melody, and it's just overall a really good track.
Yeah, I think it's very nice. I didn't notice the Americanizations in his pronunciation, but
You clearly weren't listening then, were you silly boy?
I don't listen. I don't listen to words. I don't know if you've never
on to
noticed
the next
it
one already. But
No
he's crack
words.
open another can.
Might go and get a third one.
Calm's on his own. Whoa!
I've just spilled.
He's going to be wanting tonight,
Just
isn't he?
spilled
The
everywhere.
cats are in bed. I bet.
Yeah, they're fucking trying to open the door, the little freaks.
Right, calm down about the cats, Callum.
Oh, fucking hell.
I'm trying to do an earnest music review here, and you're being a little prick about it.
Go on, be earnest.
Gorgeous.
important.
It's gorgeous. It's a good open. It's a good closer. It works very well. I'm being earnest. Anyway, that's a 1975.
What?
They've released another album. They're not from 1975, as confirmed on Chicken Shop Date with Amelia de Moldenberg, with Matty Healy, whose name Matty doesn't suit him. I've decided, and I only recently I'm going off on a tangent here. I only recently realised that he was from Manchester.
Yeah.
As in, like just after the album's released, and when I saw just a random video online of him speaking, it really threw me off. Really threw me off.
What were we expecting? Some sort of like
Just
posh boy
London.
southerner.
Just a southerner, yeah. And yeah, so it really did throw me off.
It threw him off. Right, we're not going to rate them because...
Well, we are
going to rate them.
We are going to rate them,
them.
Yanni.
We're just not going to average it.
Who do you think you are?
Stop saying that. Averages are not going to be happening. Callum, tell me your rating, please.
Well, I think this is a very good album overall. There's a few songs that I wish would do more. Overall, I think it does what it's trying to do very well. And it's the most cohesive record they have released, definitely since the first. So I think this is a generous score, but I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Thank you, Callum. I'm Liam. My score has increased. The common theme this over the last few weeks, but upon listening and discussing with you guys, my score has changed and increased.
Such a sheep.
Spoiler alert. Nothing. It's not nothing to do being a sheep. Because I don't care what you have to say. I'm a man of my own mind. And I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Thank you, sheep. Well, it's funny you should mention changing your opinion because before I heard you two spell your thoughts, I thought I was being too generous. also. So I'm also going to give it, believe it or not, an 8.
Wow.
888 Angel.
888. I
Big
agree,
wish.
Cal. It is probably the most cohesive, and I've not listened to any of the others. So, no. Yeah, I think there's only one like part for me where I just feel like the song isn't necessary, but like the rest of them do add to it. So yeah, very well done, 1975 and Co. Do
Got
this
some new
more
fans.
often.
You got some new fans here.
Nah, well, I like this
Yanni,
album. I'm
listen
good.
to A Brief Inquiry into Online
Brief Inquiry's
Relationships.
good.
I'll make
It
a
is
brief
very good.
inquiry into it. And of course, that is our review of 1975's album, Being Funny in a Foreign Language. What foreign language? I'll leave that up to you.
The 1975 boys. I don't know if have you ever heard of them?
Who?
Matthew Healy, son of Tim and Denise.
Can you name me one of their albums?
1975, probably.
No, can you name me
Is the
one of their
first album?
songs, please? One of their songs, maybe?
Chocolate.
No, you've ruined the joke, mate.
Fuck's sake, Liam.
You're such a prick.
Oh,
Jesus wept.
did you want me to say 1975?
Obviously.
I don't think it's not clear when you're trying to make some sort of joke.
I got it.
Because you do the same face all the time. They have a song called 1975.
What do you mean?
They've got a few songs called 1975. One of them.
Which
will be
one's your
goes on
favourite?
today. Second album.
Why would you not say that?
Oh, well, that wasn't clear, Callum. Stop
I didn't
setting me
even
up
get that
for
one.
these
I
stupid
didn't get that
jokes. And I know it's the second one because I've listened to all their albums in anticipation for this new one.
This is brand new information.
Yes, I'm here.
Shock
Giving
on
you
my face.
fresh.
On my one
Breaking
face.
Breaking news. Breaking news. Yanni, that's you. You're sorting this out. Breaking news. You'll have that in post. On Friday, I listened to every 1975 album. Yes, you heard that right. Every 1975 album, including the acclaimed debut, The 1975. First track of which is called The 1975. I'm going to go through track by track.
Oh,
so just
no.
hold on. No, I'm only kidding. Yeah, that's the news really. I listened to it all. Questions?
Yes.
Why?
What would you rank them? Obviously, excluding the new one. What order would you rank them?
Okay, bear in mind I've only listened to them all once, okay? I probably listened to the first album once before, but,
Not according to
Um,
Twitter from 2013 or 14, whenever it was.
Well, I said I like the song Chocolate. It's a good song. And so I have no, what's the word when you've
Preconceived.
rose-tinted glasses?
Oh.
No. Nostalgia. I have no nostalgia about any of this stuff, apart from a few of the tracks from the first album. I would rank it simply. Notes on a Conditional Form is the worst album.
Too long.
It's as simple as that. It's just not good. That's the thing. The best album. You ready?
Yeah.
A Brief Inquiry into Online Relationships.
Correct.
And then the other two albums, pretty equal, I'd say. Pretty solid albums. Debut and sophomore.
Fantastic. Do you have a favoured song of each of the records?
Oh, it's funny you should ask. Because, no, I don't. I do actually, I added a bunch to my main big playlist. So if I can find that, which for some reason,
Your 3-day playlist.
That is high praise.
yeah. So if I could just quickly pull that up, I can tell you. Because again, I wasn't paying particular attention here. I was letting it wash over me, as one does with the 1975. Now, I will tell you the ones I've added from each album.
Okay.
So from the 1975, the first album, I think I think I've already added Chocolate and some of the other ones, Girls, before, but I added The City, which is one I didn't know.
What?
EP version's better.
Okay, well, I'll
Throwing it
trust
out
you on
there.
that. From I Like It When You Sleep because I can look at you in a bit of a freak kind of way. That album. Again, I haven't listened back to any of these tracks. But the 3 tracks I added from there were If I Believe You, The Ballad of Me and My Brain. I enjoyed
Love that one.
I remember liking
Yeah,
that
that's
one.
great.
And Somebody Else because that is a banger.
Yeah.
I
that is
listened
a
to the
banger.
ballad of Me
Slapper.
in My Brain while I was having a shit this morning.
Well, I love that.
Yeah.
And then from A Brief Inquiry, into the relationships on the interwebs, I added "Love It If We Made It."
Yeah.
It's not living if it's not with you. That was a single, wasn't it? If
It was. So was Love It If We Made It.
Oh, okay. And you'll be happy to know, Carl, Sincerity is Scary.
Wow.
I didn't add anything from the Notes album because why would I? Simple. I really found that whole album so convoluted, so unnecessary. And it really backed up all my opinions I had in 1975 prior to listening to their music. So I'm glad that through my journey where I thought, hang on, there's something here, they validated me at the end. So I've been right all these years, and there we go.
Yeah,
but I have to say, it impressed me. I kind of get it a bit more now. I still think their fan base is insane.
Oh yeah.
Hey, what a great start to this. But you are insane. But I do think they're pretty alright musicians. And not all their songs sound the same. I've said that before. They don't. But they do have quite a lot of songs that do sound the same.
Mm. Yeah. In terms of Notes on a Conditional Form, I remember one of the earliest memories of this podcast I have was me slagging off independent record stores that put that on their album of the year list.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I agree.
I do like some of the tracks on it, but as a whole album, fucking hell, it was not good.
It was a slog. It was a real slog, that last album.
I agree.
I really felt that. Like, I was like, that was when I was texting. I think that's when I told you I was kind of in the middle of doing something. Was when I was listening to that and I was thinking, I wish I could just skip this last one.
Oh yeah,
I was convincing myself that you were having a child or getting married.
Yeah.
You're so dramatic. But that's the first one that gives gets away from the whole what's the first two lines that they always say? Slow down.
Go down, soft sound.
Go down, soft sound. Notes was the first one that got rid of that and got Young Greta in, which was I think that was quite a powerful moment. But it's sad that they got rid of that starter because I think that's a cool idea.
I agree.
If not, a bit wonky. I think that's 1975, isn't it? 1975, cool ideas, a little bit wonky.